Hey, feeling what's good? This is your girl, I am the Bronze Goddess, and it's time for another strawberry letter. Let's go get 'em. Foolishness alert. I love it when you give your own. Oh, okay. Anyway, girl, I know you're gonna get me together. I will. Okay, here's the deal. I am a 26-year-old hot and poppin' lady. Okay. Doing well for myself, but I'm currently in a bit of a situation. So I've been with my current boyfriend for 4 years, but over the time of this relationship, it has become very complacent. Even though he wants to marry me to keep me, I've been there this long because I am a coward and he is my safety blanket. One of those wasn't my type dudes, but I learned to love him anyway. Recently, I went to my hometown for my sister's wedding and reconnected with a high school sweetheart. And I'm not sure whether my heart is playing games with me or what, but now we have this connection that goes beyond every relationship I've ever had. It is deep, yo. Ooh. You got me with that one. Okay. He has also been in a complacent relationship for 4 years. We only made out, and I can't stop thinking about him or the kiss. I know I sound like a teenager, shaking my head. He wants me to move back so we can start our lives together because he has a few businesses that he needs to run. My mom is against it because she says that if he was serious, he would pursue me. Is she right? Should I leave both men alone and wait on God? Signed, confused but prayerful sister. Okay, girl. Since you already know I'm gonna get you together, I'm not gonna disappoint. All right. The first thing is I'm always leery about a man who is willing to start a new relationship when he has not completed his old one, his current one. And because I feel like if he'll do that with you, he may do that to you. If he was really interested in getting a relationship with you, then he needs to clean up this 4-year relationship that he's in. And I don't know, the whole thing about it, I don't even know how that is appealing to you. That he's willing to kiss you and all this kind of stuff and, tell you all these things while he's still in a relationship. It's like, I would be leery of that. And you're doing the exact same thing. I think that both of you need to end your current relationships before somebody gets hurt. If you know that your relationship with your man is complacent, that's how you describe it, and he's willing to marry you and you put to keep you. So you didn't say it because he loves you and because that's what he wants. You're saying that he's willing to do whatever it takes for you. And I don't see you getting out of this without hurting him, and unless you do it right now. Don't leave him for someone else. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of having someone on the back burner. I know, I talked about it before, there's certain celebrities that we know who keep a fresh man. If you break up with a man today, they got a new boyfriend tomorrow, and you're like, when did y'all get together? How did this happen so quickly? Like, whenever that happens, the person always doubts how much you love them. If I were to break up with my husband right now, God forbid, and he moves on, and within a week he has a new girlfriend or a new wife or a new whatever, I'd be like, how long has this been going on? Because how did you move on so quickly? And that makes you question the relationship that you had, that somebody could move on so quickly. I think that you should, if you're not in love with your man, love him but not in love with him, know for a fact that you don't want to spend the rest of your life with him, stop wasting his time and yours and get out of the situation. Because what I believe is going to happen is you're going to mess around and get pregnant by this man, and you're going to have to marry him because you're going to feel like that's the only way to keep your family together. Or if you get pregnant, you're going to feel like you owe it to the baby to try to give the baby a family. Like, it's only going to get more complicated. There's so many women who wish they had the opportunity that you have, that they could walk away right now. You have every opportunity to walk away. You didn't say anything about any children. You're 26. You said hot and popping. Well, why don't you be hot and go pop without him, without this man? Because I think that what you're doing is dangerous and what you're doing is not fair to him or yourself. Sorry about that. Another thing is, I think that you may be suffering from this whole grass is always greener syndrome that we all get. Of course, I don't even know why the relationship between you and him broke up in the first place. Because I feel like oftentimes we look at our exes and everything looks great, but you got to remember that quote, an ex is an ex for a reason. There is a reason why it didn't work out the first time. So you need to consider all of that. I don't know why you guys broke up and why that didn't work out, but consider all of that. Because I think that you might have been caught up in the romantic vibe that was in the air. It's a wedding. You see him, you're thinking about your wedding and thinking about your Prince Charming. And when love is in the air, that's when people are most vulnerable. Because you're like, I want what they have. Especially when you're at a wedding, there is no lonelier place for a single person than at a wedding. At least in my opinion. Because you're there and everybody is in love and then they're feeding each other cake and they're saying these beautiful vows to each other. They're holding hands. They're looking in each other's eyes deeply and longingly. And if you're single or if you're not in a happy relationship, you're like, I want what they have. And you just get caught up in the whole thing. I think you were wrong to be making out with this man while you both were in a relationship. But I think that if you ever want God to bless that with you and the other guy, you need to clean it up. You need to do it in a respectful, classy way. And you need to really consider what kind of man would be doing this behind his girlfriend's back. Like, that would irk me about him. Now, if he was telling me these things and it didn't take that physical step, that'd be one thing. But who knows how many times he's done this? Is this the first time he's ever stepped out on his girlfriend? Do you know that? Like, how well do you even know him? And another thing, I know I'm like giving you a lot, but there's a lot that I want to get out there. You know him. You know the him of years ago. You know the high school guy. A lot of times people grow, but they don't grow in the same direction. How do you know that who he is as a man is who he is then? How do you know that what he is now is what you want? I think people you get caught up in the whole romance and the fantasy of, I wonder if it could be how it was, but you guys aren't teenagers anymore. You guys have bills and debt, and it's not going to be necessarily the way that it used to be. I think you should take the time to get to know that man as his current man, as his current self. Because you guys clicked in high school, this ain't high school anymore. How is he as a grown man? How has the time changed him? Because a lot of times you may know somebody in high school. You guys are on Facebook. You know somebody in high school and they are a totally different person now than they were then. The class clown is now serious. The most likely to succeed is working a minimum wage job. Like, you never know how different people's lives had turned out. Another thing is, you never know how the relationships that he's been in and that is currently in has jaded him. How does he now approach relationships as a grown man? I don't think that you know all of those, the answer to all of these questions. I don't think you know who he is. You know who he was, but do you know who he is? And that's why I wanted to do your particular strawberry letter for all of you women out there who are thinking about the ex, knowing good and well it didn't work out the first time. But a lot of times you start thinking about the coulda, woulda, shouldas and all that. But who knows how the time has changed? Is he now jaded towards relationships? What makes you think that he's going to rush into a relationship with you after coming out of a 4-year relationship? Like, I think that you may be idealizing what it could be. If you do want to get with this guy, the first thing I think you should do is, number one, is pray about it. Number two, remove yourself from your current situation if it's not what you want. And number three, allow him to clear his relationship. Allow him to be available. How can you date a man who's unavailable? I don't like that whole idea. You only date an available man. You're not pursuing a man who's in a relationship, because that's tacky. And whether you believe in God or karma or the law of reciprocity, you can't put that out there and not expect to get that back. How you get him is how you keep him. And what you compromise to get, you must compromise to keep. So how do you know in another couple of years if he's with you, if he won't be telling this to the next girl? How do you know that? If you guys want it to work, clean it up and do it respectfully, out of respect for the people who you're in relationships in. He should respect the woman he's with enough to end that before pursuing you. And you should respect your man to end your relationship before pursuing him or allowing him to pursue you. Because how is it going to be blessed if you're doing it in a messy way? Because you know how, like I always say, God don't bless no mess. And this is messy. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this letter. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please share my videos. I like to put this kind of positivity out there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, be sure to leave your comments below. What do you guys think? And let me know. I love when you guys share your personal stories. Have you ever gotten back with an ex? And if you have, how'd that work out for you? Was it like time never went past, or, was it better the second time, or whatever? Just let her know below. The whole thing for these strawberry letters is to get an opinion, whether it be mine or whether it be yours. I just want her to have, some feedback, because that's why she's writing. So give her some feedback. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Till next time. Later, divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.